everyone, my name is Michaela Whitten, and today in this PowerPoint presentation, I will be discussing emergency management in Russia. So some important background information is that the USSR split in 1991. This is important because that is when Russia became its own independent country, which then called for new emergency management systems to be put in place. So President Yeltsin was the very first leader of the newly independent Russia, and he saw how lacking the USSR's previous emergency management systems were. So in order to better serve his people, he launched the Federation's Ministry of Civil Defense, Emergencies, and the Elimination of the Consequences of Natural Disasters, also known as EMERCOM, in 1994. So EMERCOM's implementation pattern is mainly top-down, and that is due to the fact that the government there really likes to have just a broad control over its people, and they have in recent years really tried to put an emphasis on providing local levels with more resources and supplies and structure in order to let them start responding to disasters more locally and then branching up as needed. However, they're still really trying to just go through getting all of those systems to work in that manner, since when it started it was mainly top down. Some natural hazards they face are heavy snowfall, avalanches, flooding, forest fires, and earthquakes. So a specific little subdivision of EMERCOM that was created for this was the canine services, and they respond to the areas that have avalanches in order to perform search and rescue. So some man-made hazards that they face, they have nuclear power plants, and they were very important to the USSR, and we saw some pretty bad disasters due to that, and they're still very important in Russia today. So just to give you a comparison, there were 6 nuclear power plant emergencies in the half year before EMERCOM was founded. So that doesn't seem like a huge number, but when you compare it to how many we see perhaps in another country, it's pretty large. So participants, they're largely independent. Again, they like having just a broad sense of control. So EMERCOM has a wide spectrum in order to handle that. It's very diverse in what it can handle. And Russia does have the Russian Red Cross, so that is an NGO, but since it's within their own country, they do have a little bit more control. So some obstacles that they face is they have a very large landmass. So it's 6.6 million square miles. And to compare that, the U.S. is only 3.6 million square miles. So the sheer spread of people that they have to provide services to is just immensely large. So that obviously provides an obstacle there with trying to get supplies and resources to everyone. So Chernobyl was that nuclear power plant disaster that I spoke of earlier, and it occurred in 1986 while the USSR was still intact. It was in Ukraine and not Russia. However, the effects of the radiation were felt for hundreds and hundreds of miles. So that really was taken into account when Russia formed its own emergency management system, since they decided they were still going to use nuclear power. They wanted to find a way to better protect their people if it did happen again. And these are my references.